Welcome to Toffee TV. We're here to talk about the stadium images, as Dan Mice obviously has been doing fan consultations in St Luke's next to Goodison Park, and he's been sharing some of the images. Although those images I don't think were supposed to go public, they did. It's not, listen, that's not our fault. People put pictures all over the internet, and they've got out. And hope. What I'm hoping is that once it's all done, that maybe the club will put the pictures out properly so you can see them in all the glory. Because that would be nice, rather than getting just like half shots. But what have you made of the pictures?
Yeah, I think it's good. I think the fact that whether you're supposed to get out or not always makes you go, why? If you've shown some people, why aren't you showing everybody? And I think what it does do is, first and foremost, is it quietens down the unrest that was beginning to bounce along, because you know what it's like in football. It's the same when things are good. When things are good, everything's good. Yeah. You'll go to the shop, you buy stuff and blah blah blah, and everything's going well. And when things are perceived as not good, everybody looks for every bit of negative. We've said this before, the silence was almost deafening about Bramley-Moore. Everything's been coming from the mayor and from fans and whispers here and there. The club have been very, very quiet on it all. And so I think it was about time something official was out there. Now, okay, it hasn't come out officially in terms of the club and everything, but people have gone to an official thing that's been set up by the club and by Dan Mice, and those images for me, although they are just early sketches, I think are quite reassuring.
What I will say is, just on the events, I don't think the event itself has been put over very well, because my understanding was, and listen, we had the people from the fans forum in here, and we spoke to people from the club, and I just never got the idea that this is what it would be like. And because of that, I thought it was going to be not necessarily a box ticking exercise, but they were going to sit down, and a consultation to me sounds like it was going to be a back and forth on what fans wanted, and it doesn't seem like that at all. It seems like Dan Mice has gone in and gone deep. This is what it is. So, I mean, from my point of view, I've got it wrong on that. I got it wrong on that, but I just think the club have not misled people, but just should have been a little bit more. If designs were going to come out, why didn't they say this is when designs were going to come out? The form they did online, I didn't have any feeling whatsoever to do that. I couldn't be bothered, because I wanted Dan Mice to just get on with it, which it looks like he has. But it just strikes me that the whole thing wasn't like, this is when you're going to get to see the. Yeah, but I just think that's weird again.
But I suppose it's all. It isn't the ground, is it? He's not showing you.
No.
It's just early sketches. It's basically a model of. I mean, there's only so many ways you can present a view of seats, isn't it? Of how it'll be in terms of early planning. I think when the whole thing's put together in like a CGI model, I think that's when it'll take shape. The other bits, seeing, I know what you're saying. The idea of fan consultations and workshops, which they like to term them, is you imagine. I thought it'd take place in the suite at Goodison. There'd be loads of circular desks, and he'd do a little presentation, or just a thing about the key elements, and then he'd go round the room and what's important and blah blah blah. That's any workshop I've ever been to being like that. It's just not just at Everton, at anywhere. But listen, I applaud it for the simple reason that it seems to have kicked things on. Whether something's progressed in the last week or so, which might have made them go, yeah, we're comfortable now.
No, I agree. I'm not having a go at the club for what they've done. I think it looks brilliant. I'm just saying that it didn't seem like that's what it was going to be. I'm with you. I thought it was going to be like the fans tell Dan Mice what they want, whereas it seems like it's just like, I've done it, and any questions are getting asked are, but what about this? And he's like, yeah, we've, and what about that? Yeah, we've, no, I want this and I want that. I'm sure there is a little bit of like, can we have, would it be good if we could have, I seen one yesterday, it was quite funny, he was like, the roof would be shaped like the Everton badge, so that he said any Norwegian flying over would know exactly it was Everton's ground, or, you know, stupid things like that. Yeah, but some people have been worried about the roof. They don't think it's going to have a roof. It's going to have a roof. If you've ever been down there, it's going to have a roof with heat, hopefully. No, I just what I'm saying is, I just think that it does feel like it's a, you're right, like, actually all the basics are there. All the basics are there for the inside of the ground, and it's
how it should have been.
And yeah, where we should be. But like, it was almost like they were keeping that close to the chest. Again, why? Why? Instead of saying, no, these fancy consultations, you're going to see an outline vision of the ground. Maybe not the finished thing, but you're going to see the outline vision, because from those pictures, what you're seeing pretty much how the inside of that ground's going to look, without the depth, without the 3D flying images, but you can see that, you can see the context of that ground.
I mean, some of the images, it looks very much like Football Manager or something from years ago, when you do like you see like the design of our stadium. Once all the other bits are in, that's where the uniqueness will make it look, and I think that the positive stuff come out of it in terms of proximity to the pitch, which he's always spoken about. I think something that was really interesting was the Goodison footprints on over the current, the current one over the Goodison, the new one over the current footprints. I thought that was really interesting, and I seen another one as well, which obviously we've all seen, which was where it lies exactly in with the dock, and and
it's a little bit further back, isn't it, than
what you first thought, but the proximity of it and everything else. I've seen one today of where it'll be opposite, so when you look over from the Whittle, that's where you'll see how it lines.
I've seen that one.
Just where it is, not so much a stadium, but where it is. So that kind of thing's quite interesting as well. But I like all the, seeing things kept coming out last night. I seen like the bar with like the Archibald Leach stuff in, and the Bullens Road bar, and Make Me Feel at Home, and all of that kind of thing.
Well,
and all of those little things.
Of course,
I think they're brilliant.
The end with the 1878, so the seats they're looking to take from Goodison.
Are they going to be wooden or plastic?
If they were plastic, then they'd just be plastic seats that have been.
He's putting them in an end.
The sun had took the colour off them.
Are you going to want to sit in a wooden seat again?
Yeah, that's the only thing, isn't it? But I like the idea of it. But
I think they should be incorporated in like the bars and stuff.
The actual Leach stuff, that's really good, and I hope I've seen that. Obviously, we've seen the picture of the Bullens bar
and the Goodison clock, the Little Butts clock is on another rendering.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, it's on another rendering. I don't know whether that's going to be in a bar or whether it's.
But it's huge. I don't know whether it'll be in a bar. But the actual Leach stuff, that'd be great if it's in the ground. The actual layout of the ground, obviously, where it's like a bowl in the inside, but it's also like 4 separate stands. Obviously, one end you've got, I think it's like a double tier, and then you've got that huge screen, which would be like one of the biggest screens in Europe. The same big screen FC. Obviously, the sides. Pretty good with the executive boxes and the disabled areas, and then obviously you've got the big home end, which would be
the blue wall.
In comparison to, again, with the pictures showing you the comparisons of how close it's going to be to the pitch and stuff, and that obviously one of the pictures shows that it's bigger than the Kop in terms of steepness. I don't know how many numbers to talk.
12 to 15.
12, but I think the actual Dortmund's like 28, isn't it? So 28,000. It's not going to be obviously near it in terms of size, but
it's
the one steep stand. We've seen Tottenham doing something like that, which seems like seems like a good sort of.
We're trying to create that home end of, and that impressive image when you walk out. just going back, and it's seeming as though it's going on, you know, and that blue, the colour in it and everything, it creates that iconicness almost, doesn't it, of what it'll be. And Spurs are doing it. Theirs is slightly different, just the design, the way it's designed and stuff. Ours will be, I think, by looking at it, ours will be more squared off, which will be very similar to Dortmund's. But I think it's fantastic, and I think if we've got to move, which we have, I think so far anyway, he seems to have really got a grasp on what we would like as fans. He seems to have a good angle on the club, and all the little bits that were coming out, you know, like the bits like the Bullens bar and stuff like that. I think he knows. One thing I thought was, which you don't always think about, was the proximity of the stands, and then obviously when you're in the bar and stuff, they want it all glass so it's facing the city, so the view you're getting in the, you know, underneath the stand is the view back of the city and everything like that. So
but that stuff's really important, because that stuff's important from terms of, like, if it's a non-football event and stuff like that, and or if you're, you know, if they open the stadium up afterwards or before, or do you know what I mean, just like for events and stuff like that kind of thing's really important. Corporate and stuff, so that you've got a view of the city and things like that. So that is really important, and also obviously that helps with light and stuff like that, and not necessarily feeling like you're closed in, which, you know, most football stadiums you do. I think in America you get a bit more of that. But I think with the site itself, I think the site is half an acre smaller than the Spurs site, and again, I think that creates the challenges that but it also sort of helps solve them as well, because I think if you're given almost too much space at times, maybe the imagination gets away from you. Whereas I think with the space that he's been given, with the wall on one side and obviously on the river on the other side, it's got to be really honed in.
What do you think the capacity will be, judging reading between the lines?
I think it'll be between 55 and 60. Personally, I think like we spoke about when we did the show about it, and we said, you know, for me it was about the deciding factor of, like, if you go over 60, is that just for going over 60's sake, or are you going to make it, like, you know, 50, I don't know, 58 with a really intimidating sort of atmosphere? Do you know what I mean? Is it, you know, are you going to get more out of those seats? And I think that's the thing that's got to be weighed up. And as I said as well, it's about giving the people what they want, and making sure that the ground is as good for the fan to be. And if that means less seats, then I'm okay with that.
Let's also bear, because we do all get carried on. I'm the same, you know, when you think about it, you go, oh, over 60 that. But we're currently getting 39,500 at Goodison. Yes, obviously I'm aware there's 12,000 on the waiting list or whatever it is and all that, but to go from 40,000, say, up to even 58, another 18,000, it's almost half again. But that's a big thing.
But the trend of these new grounds is that you will get them.
Oh well, you will because a lot of people.
Them. So
you get curiosity, you get people wanting to go back because it's new. You get the day trippers. You get people who don't want to pay for obstructive views, and there's 3,500 at Goodison, so rightly so. You know what I mean? You know, people who go, oh, I'm simply not paying for an obstructive view. And then obviously if you can build on that.
I think the thing about that is, and I know what you're saying, you don't want empty seats, of course you don't. I think the other thing about it is, if you do get empty seats though, it's how you manage empty seats. Do you know what I mean?
You just make sure they don't stay empty.
No, what I mean is that if you've got you know, you make sure like you close a tier at the top or something, so that it's not necessarily visible to the TV cameras and all the rest of it, or you make sure people are all together. You don't have, you know, some grounds look, because maybe there's dotted things around, they look emptier than they are, but then you look at the attendance, you go, well, I didn't think there'd be that many, but because of the way it's done.
I don't necessarily.
You've got to chat.
I'm not just saying about like the empty seats. I'm just saying going from. Going from just under 40 even up to 58 a big jump. It's half again.
Don't you have to challenge challenge the fan base though and say, well, we'll build it. And
you've got a
Tottenham have gone from
30, well, they went from 36.
36. They're getting 9. They have had games with 90, and now they're dropping back down to 60. So that's even more interesting.
They create that. I mean, Dan Mice said, didn't he? It's about creating the hottest ticket in town.
Well, that's true, and that's a very American thing. The only worry about that is when you create the hottest ticket in town, then you create expensive tickets as well, which is. But I mean, that's
not going away though. I don't think expensive tickets, mate.
No, but
it may
don't
level out.
Expensive tickets though.
It may level out. No, what it is.
You don't want more expensive.
No, of course
tickets.
We don't. Of course, but
then at least it gives it at least with a new ground, you're creating seats that are expensive for the people who want to pay for expensive seats. More seating areas with access to lounges and all the rest of it.
Creating 18,000 more seats.
Well, no, what I mean is though.
Get in now, though.
Yeah, exactly, and not only people forget, it's not only Goodison that's sold out. The lounges are sold out for like the whole of the season at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
You know, the boxes are all, there's only like 6 or 7 of them or whatever it is. So
you can't even buy them.
Yeah, they're all gone. So you're adding to that as well. So it's not only the average punter who goes to the game, it's the people who take clients and wine and dine and all that. And if you've got, like you just said, you know, you've got this new shiny thing or the hottest ticket in town, people will want to be there. You know, and that's where football is now.
It's like if you were just a business in Liverpool, say, because Liverpool is thriving. If you look at that waterfront, and say Everton's ground was there at the weekend, and you've got clients coming in, Man City, the big draw, might necessarily be Everton.
Yeah.
But you could be going, you know, I've got these people,
Premier League football.
These people coming in from America, say, whatever.
Yeah.
Want to go and watch these are going to win the league, and this is another Premier League team in the top, you know, and it's on our doorstep.
Yeah.
Corporate, bang, that you're missing though, and listen, to a lot of people won't be bothered about them, of course they won't be, but every bit of money that comes in helps your club to evolve, doesn't it, because you're able to then spend.
But if you're taking money at the top end, that can hopefully, and if this has been said before, that hopefully
keeps it lower,
keeps the low end lower. So that's really they're all real key things. That this is where, when people talk about the club and Goodison Park, and this is what we've been missing out for in years, and this is where all the clubs have capitalised on it, and people like now and again, let's just say this quietly, normal people like now and again to, you know, treat themselves. Well, they like to treat themselves, don't they? You know, I've been lucky enough to do the lounges a couple of times, and it's really nice. It's really nice. It's a different experience to get a meal, you know, before the game and after the game, be able to sit there for an hour afterwards and just chill out with a drink and listen to whoever the guest is. That's a different way, and it's not. You've got different lounges for different criteria as well. But at the moment, Everton's is like they're doing really well, and don't get me wrong, they've done really well with Goodison with what they've got. You want more at Liverpool with their new stand they've got. Again, they've got like the Carlsberg one, which is, again, it's almost like the normal fan sort of kind of version of it. And then there's different. Again, I'd say it's like everything in life. If you've got money, you're willing to pay the extra amount if you're getting the extra stuff. And now and again, we all like to treat ourselves, or someone like to treat us, and you've got to be able to cater for all those things, and we can't do that at the moment at Goodison. Talking about catering for everybody. Obviously, as part of those plans, there's room for the rail seating, which is really good. That's been incorporated in case there is a change in the future in the law.
I think there will be.
No, I think there will be.
There's no question about it. I think within 12 months that'll be it. I think the law will get changed as we carry on progressing. I think obviously it's all about verifying how safe it is, which we know, and I think it ticks boxes for a lot of people. I think atmospheric wise, I think it creates that, and people like to stand, and if you can do it in a safe environment, why not include it? And obviously those rail seating, the key is there, it can go back to seats if need be, you know. So I think it's excellent that they've included a section of his designs to include that.
And I think it's in the right place as well. I think as part of the big stand.
Definitely.
I think it's in the right place, and you know, we've seen this week Spirit of Shankly going up to Celtic to look at theirs, and
that's a big thing, isn't
that's
it?
A big
if
thing.
Liverpool are looking at it.
People, yeah, well, that's it. I mean, that's it. They want to be part of the conversation if the conversation starts. And I think what will happen in this country is we'll see access given to trials to the lower league teams. There's already teams, so I think Bristol City, Shrewsbury doing something. Aston Villa said they're willing to do it. I think 18 of the Premier League clubs said yes. I think we abstained, and Liverpool said no, I think, at the moment. So with the clubs pushing it, and with Celtic showing that the model works and can work, and then I think it's important. And talking about atmosphere, talking about going into a new stadium with atmosphere and giving people what they want as well, I think that's the perfect way to start it. You are given, like we've just talked about one end of the spectrum, you're talking about the other end of the spectrum. It wouldn't surprise me if one day we have corporate rail seating as well, because people want the best of both worlds. But that's important as well. I just think it's important that the club have included that as part of the plans.
Yeah,
they're saying it can go in.
It's on the agenda,
it is on the agenda. So
that's
a really big thing. But as you said, the next thing is to see the actual stadium and what it looks like. I know. I think someone said that. You know, Dan May said that the ground will look like it's come out of the surroundings, which sounds like brick. He said
brick and wood.
He said the fan zone will seem like it's been there for years and very organic. And I think as part, with part of the with it just being in the buffer zone, I think, for the World Heritage site, and the council, they're not bending over backwards but they are trying to play fair. I think they're not sort of like trying to say, no, well, they are saying, well, we'll do what we can. And I think Everton, I think Dan might want the club, want it to feel like that as well. I think a lot of people are mentioning the Lucas Oil Stadium, which is sort of what I'd like, but that's like sort of what I'd like on Steads.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Like that's like
a
bit toned down, and as I say, that'll be the next thing, like a 3D CGI version of it.
The next few weeks, you said,
to see what it actually looks like. I mean, whether they will actually get the outside or it will just be the inside.
Be interesting.
It'll be interesting, and as I say, all those little things like the little bars, they all play their part in sort of keeping the authenticity of Goodison Park going. Because I think that's a main thing that people have mentioned so far, is that it makes them feel like Goodison Park.
Yeah. It's all of that, isn't it? We don't want this shiny new bowl that's soulless and that. We've all been to the new stadiums. They're all much of a muchness, every single one of them. The concourses never look finished. They don't. It's just there's the concrete there, and you go out.
Polished concrete.
That's it, and you walk out and go, oh yeah, this looks like X, Y, Z. Yeah. Every other stadium, the Riverside looked like friggin' Derby County, look like Southampton, look all the same. Leicester, you'd go and you're there going.
Even the newer ones, the Emirates looks a bit like Wembley. It looks a bit like Lisbon.
You just look and go.
They almost have a type of a
one size fits all, like, for them, and I think that's it's great seeing Spurs, because theirs is a bit different. They've done things a little bit differently, and ours is going to be totally different again. And I think a lot of people love Goodison, or the fans of club, because it is a traditional old ground, and if we can take a bit of that and make a new ground look individual,
definitely, then
that's a great thing, and I think everybody will appreciate that, not just Evertonians. Yeah,
and I'd say, there have been a few gripes if you go on Twitter and stuff about it, but what can you really take from these pictures apart from it's going in the right direction? Because until we see the outside, until we actually get that feel of what it's actually going to look like, because
most of the stuff I've seen has been really
positive.
I'm being a handful of people.
I'm quite positive about it going forward, and And I think the main thing is that I've never really had a problem with this, but I think most people feel like Dan Mice has got a grasp on what we want, on what, but not only what we want, what he wants from looking at the club and seeing
how he understands
the club. And I think that's actually the most important thing. It's all right saying, it's all right having a piece of paper and going, right, I'll draw you a picture what you want, and I'm just drawing a picture. But it's taking the concepts and the ideas and going, well, you know what, I know what they want, rather than you just telling me what you want. And I think that's always been my sort of thing with this, is that I didn't want too many people sort of telling him. Just I wanted him to be, and as an architect, that's his job, isn't that's his job? His job is to walk into, if he gets commissioned to build something, he doesn't have loads of people who go, I really like that other building, I'm going to tell you. You have to go in and go, right, well, I have to make a new version of that, and keeping all the traditions and history of it, but with my own thing. So I'm quite confident he can do that, and as we move forward, hopefully next few weeks we'll get more, and just but for me, the club just be a little bit more like we've said for weeks, be a little bit more positive about it. Be a bit more positive about it. This is the day you're going to get to see this. Not, well, it's a fans workshop and this might happen. No, this is what's going to happen. Do you know what? Maybe if they'd said that, they would have had 50,000.
Yeah, well, that's probably why they didn't want to.
Yeah, someone would have made someone's job harder to whittle them down. Anyway, let us know your thoughts about the pictures we've seen so far on the stadium. What do you want? What do you want the outside to look like? Are there any other stadiums like the Lucas Oil Stadium that you want it to look like? Or do you just not want it to look like anything else ever? Completely different. I don't know how you can do that because it's a building. We've had every kind of building, so to have a pretty unique one would be very, very hard. But let us know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching Toffee TV. We'll see you later.